Hello, dear friends. In this video, I will share with you a demonstration of how I help people to overcome concrete problems in their life. I have an amazing volunteer, and we have already made the session, which I will share with you. It's not being edited, there's nothing changed there. All of it is available for you. I want to summarize how we did the process so that you are familiar how things work and also how you can address them in your life. First of all, we started with defining the problem. In her case, she was feeling stuck. She had problems with her ear. She was hearing noises, and also she was emotionally overwhelmed. So what we did was, first of all, I calculated her lifetime cycles, and we found when the problem started, how it was related to previous situations in her life, also previous periods like years before that. And eventually we even got to the very first experiences in her life around 1 or 2 years. After that, we used EFT and matrix re-imprinting to help her overcome those challenges and to let them go so that the psychological, the emotional reasons for her physical problems will be healed. We worked with the team about the family history, about the mother. She realized that most of her problems are actually coming from her mother. They are not her own. Eventually, we worked even with the birth experience, with strengthening her connection with the father who she hasn't met. And at the end of the session, she shared that she's feeling much better, that she feels lighter, and even the noise in her ears has reduced. You will see that it's not like, going from 10 to 0, like from a really intense state to complete healing. And the truth is that that's the way things work most of the time. So things need more time. And over the next weeks or even months, she may recognize how things are shifting for her, because we also worked with her beliefs and her limiting ideas. So watch this demonstration to see how I approach those cases, how you can do that as well. If you have any questions about my work, you can check the links below or go to marstars.net. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope it will be helpful for you as well. Okay, so we are ready to start. Hello, Rochelle, again.
Hi.
Just for the record, can you please confirm again that you're okay with me recording the session and sharing it with my students and other people?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Thank you very much for participating and for allowing me to show you how this works and how those methods actually work, and also to show other people the benefits. So thank you again. All right. So let's start first of all with defining which are the main problems, the main issues you have.
Well, at the moment, I feel quite stuck and I struggle with my self-worth. So I cannot get myself going and I don't have the self-confidence to start something new again. I'm just feeling a bit stuck.
Okay, feeling stuck. Okay, and health-wise, how do you feel? You've mentioned about certain issues you have.
Well, I still have the loss of hearing in my right ear and the tinnitus. So it's there.
Okay, so it's active, right?
It is active and sometimes it's louder than other days, but I've learned to live with it.
Okay, okay.
And something recently happened in my my left eye. They call it a floating or something, a floater. So my eyesight also affected, and they say it's going to take about 3 months
Uh-huh. Can you explain what that issue is? Is it like something you see?
Yes, in my eyesight. So the gel, the eye specialist said it's the gel inside your eye. So it forms something, and then it's
Yeah,
there for.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay. So tinnitus, then the eye issue. Okay. You mentioned something about vertigo attacks. Do you still have that?
No, since I stopped drinking red wine and
Mm-hmm.
peanuts, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm allergic or very sensitive to the preservative sodium benzoate. So I don't know if that's linked. So if I eat and I avoid certain foods, then it's better. So I haven't had the attack since last year.
Okay. Okay. So currently, the hearing problems seem to be like the most important, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still there. Okay.
Yes, and
Okay.
s- and also I think my middle ear. Sometimes I don't know if when I'm stressed out or when I'm emotional, then the middle ear gets affected, and then I feel dizzy.
Yeah, it's that was what I was going to explain to you, that dizziness, vertigo attacks, they are all related to the ear as well. So it seems like you said the right one. Yeah,
Right one.
the right one. Okay. So I would like to ask you, can you remember at what age did you become independent of your parents? I want to calculate certain cycles for you. So can you remember when that was?
Well, I had a difficult childhood. So my father died before I was born, and my mother. Well, I would say I can remember when I was 16, I started working part time, and then I think it started there where I sort of looked after myself already.
Did you move to another place or
I was in foster care as a child.
in foster care?
Yes,
Aha. So around 16, you became independent.
I would say yes. That's when I started earning my own money, and I sort of looked after myself. Yes, but I was still living with my mother, and then for a year with foster parents, and then back again. So
Mhm. So when did you move
out of the
independently to
house when I was 18.
18? Okay,
Yes.
let's go with this one to see. Okay. And when did the issue start with tinnitus? When was the
Two-
first time?
2015. April 2015, my ear was blocked and there was this fullness in the ear, and that's when it started.
2015. How old were you at that point?
2015, I think 37.
37. Okay.
Yes, I was turning 38 in October 2015.
Mm-hmm. So around the age of 37.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And what has happened around this time, or let's say 6 months or a year before that, in
I
your
had,
life? Mm-hmm.
I had a major breakup.
Mm-hmm.
My
Okay.
partner had an affair the previous year. I became aware of it in July 2014, and then we tried again. But I was, in January 2015, I discovered that it never actually stopped. So that's when our relationship ended. But he only moved out because we had to finalize our affairs 3 years later.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this was before the problem. Okay, and how did you find out? And I'm asking because I don't want this to be hurtful, but you know that we have to dig deeper. Because usually when there is a problem with the ear, especially when there is noise, there is something that you have heard probably
Mhm.
that you didn't want to hear.
Yes.
Yeah, and usually this is like a coping mechanism
Mhm.
to create some kind of noise so that, you know, we can kind of neglect the other bad news that we didn't want to hear. So
Yeah.
this is one, you know, major factor here. So that's why I'm asking, did you hear about it by him or someone else? What was the way this information was presented?
I saw he acted differently, and I saw he acted very cold, and he was very annoyed with me, and I
Mm-hmm.
was very emotional. I couldn't understand why, and I remember one particular weekend we went away, and I was just crying the weekend. That was the April before I found out that in July. So I told him, I don't know what's wrong, but I am just so sad. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember also one night in bed, the way he turned around in bed, just
Mm-hmm.
that one gesture showed me that something was different, and the way he handled his phone. So I suspected there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And then when he was asleep one night, I checked his phone, and then I
Mm-hmm.
discovered all the messages.
Uh-huh. Okay. And do you have like a memory of a time or a situation when you heard something that was very upsetting, or and you may or may not remember it, that's fine. I'm just asking if you have a clear memory about something like
Well,
that.
he always used to say he would never cheat on me,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw the way he acted differently around women. Looking back now, I realize he did cheat on me.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we were such good friends and he was my best friend, um, I didn't, maybe I didn't want to believe that, because how can you do that to your best
Yes.
friend?
Yes. Okay, can you remember something important happening in your life around the age of 19? Was
It was
there
very
something?
Yes, it was a very difficult year for me. I went to university and I was all on my own, and I had to cope on my own, and I didn't have any support. So I couldn't study. I was a academic performer in school, but when I went to university, I couldn't perform. I didn't want to study. I I failed most of my subjects, so it was
Mm,
very hard for me. I did not emotionally, it was hard for me to cope around the students and in that environment completely
mm-hmm.
without support. I felt I didn't have any support. I didn't have any contact with my mother much. So
Mm,
that was very
yeah,
hard. That was a very difficult year for me.
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, and do you have any information about the very beginning of your life, like the first 1 year or so? Was there some kind of event in the family or some kind of stress or
Well, my mother was young. She was 18 when she had me.
mm-hmm.
So uh, my father died 2 months before my birth, and his family, especially his sister, did not like my mother much, and she
Mm-hmm.
was very possessive, from
Mm-hmm.
what I can gather, and towards her brother, which is my father. And then when he died, she wanted to adopt me.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, I don't know exactly the detail, but this is just sort of what I can figure out, or what I've
Yeah.
figured out. We moved away, and not too long after that, my mother met somebody else, and then I got his surname.
Sorry, you got what?
His surname. So he actually adopted me.
That's the sister of your father.
Yes, my sibling
Uh-huh.
father.
Uh-huh. And was it around the very beginning of your life, like the first 1 or 2 years?
Yes, must have been, because my sister is 2 years younger than me. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say maybe after the first year, maybe second year of my life,
Mm-hmm.
between 1 and 2, or round about there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because all of those ages seems to be connected, and I will explain a little bit more. One more question I have. Do you know how something significant happening during the pregnancy of your mother? Of course, the death of your father will probably be one of those shocking events. Do you know how this happened and how your mother heard about this?
Well, they lived together, and he was involved in a train accident. So it was in the train.
Ah, train. Okay.
And it was in the news, and then somebody came to her house and then gave her the news that he passed away.
Yeah. So is there anything else you know about this, or not that it's not enough, but
I think my mother was very alone. Also, she didn't have this much. She didn't have a great childhood with her mother as well. And she told me that when my father passed away, his sister came and took everything. So to this day, I don't have a photo of him. And she took the baby clothes. She took everything. And my mother was left with no money, nothing. So it must have been very hard for her. And
yes.
she had to move back to my grandmother, and she was 18 years old when I was born. So, yes.
I think that all of those events are connected, and I will explain to you how things work. So even when we are in the womb of the mother, during the pregnancy, from this moment, everything is being recorded in the subconscious mind. The idea is for us to be protected, to gain, the necessary experience. But unfortunately, there are also really, I would say, negative programs which are being recorded. And especially with the hearing problem, very often the root issue is during the pregnancy of the mother. Something bad, something negative. It could be something hurtful that she has heard that she didn't want to hear. So it's being recorded, and it's like, it's like a painful news or something that you just don't want to exist. Of course, this is extremely shocking. And all of that has been recorded in your brain. And later in life, certain events are related, they are like cycles, and they are interconnected. So what happens is that there is some kind of repetition. You have a challenging year or something concrete happens. Then when the cycle comes, something similar may happen unless you realize that and you bring your awareness. Here is the interesting part. You can change those things, first of all, by bringing the conscious awareness that, first of all, this issue has started before you. Probably you are kind of keeping this from your mother. And of course, we are not blaming anyone. It's not the point, to feel guilty or whatever. That's how things work.
Yes.
But you can let this go by understanding that it's starting before you. It's coming from somewhere else. And later on in life, you, again, subconsciously create or attract circumstances which reinforce the same pain or the same trauma or similar. Of course, it's not necessarily the same, but it's similar. So something which I hear, which is so painful and it's hurtful, and I just wish it didn't exist, or I wish I could pretend I don't hear it. So I hope it sounds logical. It might be, but all of it is connected. Yeah.
Yes, I do understand all of this, and I thought it myself, but I obviously still don't.
Yes, of course, that's a process.
It's still not there.
Yes, that's a process. Okay. So would you like us to try a little bit of the energy psychology methods to see what we can find and all of that? So I would ask you only to check if your legs are crossed, not to be crossed. So uncross your legs. Uncrossed, yeah. So that the energy is flowing. Okay. And let me show you quickly the points which we are using if you are not familiar. You can imagine this as a psychological acupuncture. That's what we are doing. Balancing the energy is very interesting. At certain point, it might get emotional or more intense. Don't worry, you're safe, it's fine, because we work with trauma. So if tears show up, don't suppress this, don't worry. If it gets extremely intense, you can always open your eyes, drink a little water, look at me to connect, but don't worry. It's all just, you know, a natural, beautiful process. Okay? Okay. So let me show you. You can tap with me just to see the point. So on the top of your head, then the beginning, the start of the eyebrow. Yes. Have you tried EFT before?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you are familiar. On the side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose. So we are just quickly going through the points. And by the way, for people who are going to watch the recording later, I would recommend them to follow along with us. And you may find that you are healing your own problem, even if it doesn't have anything to do with what we are talking with Rochelle. So yeah, the collarbone, I missed explaining the collarbone, then here around where the bra is, and then we go to the hand. So those are points which not everyone uses, but I really love using them. So with 2 fingers like that. And then around each of your nails like that. Okay, and then we go back to the top of the head. So we are just going through those points. You can follow the rhythm that you feel comfortable, because I would ask you to close your eyes. I will tap along with you, but I will guide you through it. So just whenever you feel that it's appropriate, switch to the next point. Don't forget to breathe and just relax. It's a beautiful process. Okay? We are going to do something which is not just EFT. This is also called matrix reimprinting. So you would see it's quite amazing. Okay, so let's try to tune into the problem we would like to address. And we are not afraid to talk about the negative stuff, because we are releasing them. We are not reinforcing them. Okay. So right now, do you hear something? Is there any noise? Do you hear something?
Of my ear.
Yeah, you hear something. There is a noise, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe it a little bit? Is it loud?
It's like wind.
Like winds.
Wind.
Wind.
The wind.
Yeah. Okay. You may close your eyes. Do you feel comfortable? Okay. So it's like a wind. And how intense is this this noise or this sensation? From 0 to 10. If 10 is the maximum, which would be like extremely uncomfortable, and 0 is I don't hear anything.
I would say 3.
3.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other sensation there in your right ear? Something like a temperature, or maybe you can describe it as some kind of color or certain pressure. I'm just asking. There doesn't need to be.
Not really. Well, I can feel maybe a little bit warm there. It's a bit warmer than on the left.
Okay. All right. And now,
do I tap through or just still the on the hand?
just still, we are gonna move to the other points in a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the top of the head and just stay there, tapping on the top of your head. So can you remember the first time when this started, when you had the noise?
Yes.
Okay.
April 2015.
Okay, you can remember it.
Yes.
Okay, so now we can move through the points and I will keep guiding you. So what I want you to do is to imagine like you are observing the situation. So you are not reliving it, you don't experience, you just observe. So, and you can talk about yourself like she is, like Rochelle is doing, you know, not I am. So you are a little bit more disassociated. Okay. So where are you? Where is Rochelle? What's
She's
happening?
at home.
She's at. Okay. What's happening?
She's okay. She's working from home and feeling okay.
Okay. So what happens next?
Well, there's the constant shocks from stuff that she discovers from the affair, and because she's working with the ex still in business, there's things that comes to the surface, so she becomes aware of it. And it has a shock effect.
So she feels shocked
Every time when she becomes aware, yes, of something else, when there's something else that's being revealed.
Okay. Is there a particular thought that she has at that point, or something else triggering that? Can you see something?
It's just a disbelief that the best friend she had and her partner can do that.
What's the belief she has? What's the thought?
She's just so shocked. It's just a lot of shock. She cannot comprehend it. It's just too big of a shock that he can lie and hide so many things from her.
Okay.
He was supposed to be there, be a friend. He should have told her if there was something different. But I had to find it out all by myself, or she had to find it out all by herself.
Okay, so you're doing great. We will remember the situation, but now let's think of another time. Is there a previous situation that you can remember when you have had the same thoughts, or you have felt shocked?
Yes.
Okay.
It's during my childhood, I was always alone and didn't have the support. So it's similar in a way.
When is that?
Since early, when I can remember, or she can remember.
Okay. So she feels like she's alone?
Yes, nobody's looking after her. She has to look after herself.
Is there a particular situation that you see, or it's just a general thing?
It's general throughout childhood. She cannot recall really having the support. It's just really relying on herself.
Okay. And is there a particular situation that's shocking or really stressful?
Yes, the first time that was really stressful when she was taken away at the age of 19 years old to live first at a safety home and then with foster parents.
So how old she was? 19?
9, 10.
9.
Turning 10. It was 9. It was 10 years old. 10, I would say.
19. Okay. So she was taken away to live in a foster family, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was a shock, big shock.
Okay. So would you like us to go there?
Okay.
With little Rochelle? Okay. And can you describe where are we? So is it before or right when she heard about it? What
There
can
wasn't
you?
much time to process it. It was just told to her, and then the next day, unknown male came to collect her and her sister, and there wasn't nobody. They just said their goodbyes, and that was it. And it was scary, very scary to be in the back of this car with this old man that she didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
and meeting all these people that didn't seem to really understand how painful and
Yeah. Okay, you're doing great. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so our job right now is to go and help Rachel, and we can use our imagination. We can use whatever we want to. It doesn't have to be logical or realistic. We only want to help, so everything is allowed when we want to help. So when is the time that she needs help the most? Is it in the car, or do we need to go first when she heard the news? We can go both places, but where do we start?
definitely what's coming up is
Yeah.
3 years old already. So
Sorry, what's coming up?
what's coming up is at 3 years old already, waking up in the middle of the night, and the mother doesn't wake up when she cries, and she's getting cold.
Uh-huh. So is it before this happened or after?
Well, it's the same because the mother doesn't seem to be, although she's there in flesh, she is not there
Mm-hmm. So she feels alone?
very much. She's not there. She doesn't get the attention. She doesn't. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if that's what's showing for you, then we have to start there. So let's imagine how we are going there. What is it? Is it the middle of the night, you said, or?
Yes.
Okay, okay, and she feels cold.
She's cold. She's like sleeping in a like a portable bed that you use for
Uh-huh.
camping, and she has this one blanket over her, and she's cold, and she's crying. Her throat is getting sore because she's crying and she's cold, and her mother doesn't wake up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so can you imagine going there for her, like the grown-up you going there and comforting her? You can bring her a great blanket or something she would love to wear. You can imagine how you are, turning the heater on. So just doing everything that would make her comfortable. And also in your mind, you don't have to, speak the words out loud, but imagine how you're reassuring her that you are there for her, that she will be fine, and all of it. So please do that. And you may even imagine how you are tapping on her. So you bring the blanket, everything she needs, and then imagine gently tapping on her. Okay, let me know when you are done or if you want me to help you.
I'm done.
Okay, so how does she feel now?
She's calm.
She's calm now. Okay. Is there something else that she wants? You may ask her, by the way.
Okay. She's just cold and tired, so she's fine now. She was cold and tired, but she's fine now. She feels calm.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay, and if she is fine now, can you ask her, where do we need to go next?
It's just,
Yeah, you're doing great.
oh, it was just no support. unfortunately, there was no support. They forgot her at school. Nobody came to fetch her. So it's the same theme throughout.
Mm-hmm. During school.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a particular situation or it's like a general theme?
Well, it was when I was 7 years old, or they forgot her at school, and then around about the afternoon, 5 o'clock, somebody realized there was this little girl sitting there, and luckily, by the grace of God, she could remember how to get to her home, and this janitor took her home. And then another instance when she was 7 years old in a new school.
Mm-hmm.
Mother took her to school the morning they walked, and her mother expected her to walk back from school on her first day to this new school, and she got lost.
Mm-hmm.
She got home a few hours later, and her mother was waiting on her and said, "Where were you?" But her mother didn't make the effort to go and fetch her.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
So do we need to help her in this situation? Maybe we can go there. This situation at school, coming back home. Yeah.
Well, she got through it now. She's through it. She got through. She got home. She managed to survive it. So she got through it. She feels okay.
Okay. Okay, but did she feel stressed or shocked or something like that?
Yes, it's the same thing. Just another situation that there's no support. No, you just have to look after yourself. It's the same thing. You just have to look after yourself.
Uh-huh. That's maybe like a general thought, a general belief. You have to look out after yourself.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Do you find like this is repeating in your life or over and over again?
Yes.
You
I have
have
to look after myself, look out for myself, and I look after other people as well. So
okay. Okay, so this is maybe a good idea when you are grown up to take care of yourself, but for a child, usually it's not supposed to be like that. It's just your experience, but we can help with that. And I'm wondering, is there some kind of symbol or some kind of figure or even some kind of spiritual presence? What can we invite in your life to be helping you through your life? It could be, for example, your angel, or
I would say my grandmother that passed away last year.
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask next, yeah. Your grandmother.
Yes.
When did she pass? What did you say?
Last year, 2000.
Last year.
Yes, May.
Uh-huh. Okay, so can we invite her to be like your protector?
Yes.
Yeah. And just go back to those childhood experiences, those memories, and invite her there. Yeah. Is she there?
Yes. She's taking her hand.
Okay. So how does she feel now? How is your child feeling now?
She's happy.
Okay, great. Does she feel like there is someone to protect her, that she doesn't necessarily need to take
Yes.
care of herself? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And can you reassure her that even if she doesn't see this support, it will always be there for her every time she needs that She can just ask for this support. It's always there, unconditional.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how does she feel now?
She knows there is support. She feels calm.
Yeah. She's calm now. Okay. So can you ask her, is there another situation or somewhere else we need to go? Something that needs to be healed, a memory that...
That's, for now, I would say that's the main things, especially that was coming up recently again. So yes, I think for now that's what's covered now. Well, that will cover it for now.
Okay, okay. So nothing else pops up as a memory.
That pops up, not really childhood. Those were the extremes, especially being left on her own, at her own, and not giving the support. But it was a theme throughout childhood. But the other stuff, not really. She's made peace with it, or she accepts it, or understands it. Those are the main things.
Okay, okay, great. So is there something else we need to add? Because another problem or cause which may bring this, hearing the noise and so on, is also when people feel lonely, so that they don't feel the loneliness. That's why their brain creates the sound, so it doesn't feel like I'm all alone. Does that resonate with you?
Very much. Yes, that's what I struggle with.
Yes. Okay. So what can we bring in your mind that would substitute this noise? Something which would be like something pleasant. It could be the sound of nature or a waterfall. It could be a particular song.
I like the sound of nature, the water. I like that.
Okay. So can we imagine, like, in your mind that you are literally turning down the volume of this sound you're hearing? Literally turn it down completely. And then you bring this happy noise, this happy sound, actually, of the water, or it could be birds singing, or like generally the sound of nature. And if sometimes, this sound and the negative, the noise appears, you would turn it down immediately and you would bring the sound of nature. Can you imagine doing that?
Yes, 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 yes.
Is that working?
Yes, I will. I need to practice on this.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. So how does your ear feel now? Is there some kind of change?
I would say it's still between 2 and 3 out of 10. It's
Mm-hmm.
calm now.
But it's what?
Quite calm.
It's calm now. Okay. Okay, so would you like us to do something else to help Rochelle and maybe even to help her mother?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So can you imagine long time ago when you were in your mother's belly, when she was pregnant with you?
I can imagine it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there something that you may see or recognize, or it could be as an idea, it could be a visualization.
I feel excited and full of energy,
Mm-hmm. Can you feel the connection with the mother?
Not really.
No. Okay, that's fine too.
I cannot wait to get out. That's what I feel.
Aha, you want to get out of there.
Yes.
Aha.
It's not
Okay.
living, so I cannot wait to get out.
Aha. Is it uncomfortable there? What's the reason?
No, I've got energy. I want to do stuff.
Ah. Okay. So,
I want to get things going.
okay, that's great actually. Is there something that you can see about your mother and her experience and what she's going through? Can you see her at the time when she heard what has happened with your father? Can you imagine this?
Yes, I can see that, and she doesn't want this burden.
Uh-huh. Okay. So can we freeze the picture? And again, you are going there, and maybe you can tap first on the mother and then on the baby. Okay, so just gently tap on her. You can reassure her that she will go through that. Does she feel alone at that time?
Yes. What comes up that this is too much of a responsibility. She needs to look after herself first.
She can't look after herself.
She's young and she has this responsibility now with the baby, and she needs to put herself first. She needs to look out for herself first. That's what's coming up.
Okay. Okay. Does she feel alone or lonely?
Because it's the same theme. She hasn't lived her life yet. Now this has happened. Now she's alone with this baby. And she wants to go and study further and her own ideas about her life. But now this has happened.
Okay, so can you recognize something similar with how you feel?
The same thing.
Yeah. So can you recognize that this is not just you, it's more about you feeling your mother's experiences and just taking all of it?
I haven't thought about it that way. Yes, I can.
Okay, so can you imagine tapping on her back then when she has felt the shock, the loneliness, all this heavy responsibility? Just go there and tap on her until she feels calmer. Or if something changes, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, so how does she feel now?
She can do this.
She can do this, right?
Give it a try. She will be surprised.
Yeah.
What good.
Okay, so is there something else we can do for her? Can we ask also someone to guide her or to support her?
Yes.
Who can this be, or what can it be?
Father.
Oh, the spirit of your father.
Yes.
Okay, so can you invite him if he would be willing to join you all there? And just ask him to reassure her if he is willing to be there for her and for you. Okay. How does she feel? How does your mother feel now?
There's somebody there for her.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what's going to happen, but she's going to try.
Okay. Great. And does the baby Rachel need also some help? Do we need to tap on her or bring her something?
She knows this is a mother stuff. She mustn't take it on. It's a mother stuff.
Okay, that's great. So how can we help her to enter this space of earth without taking all of this? Maybe bring her the awareness or something else that she would like to do, but to reassure her that she's starting her own life and she's not responsible for the things that have happened to her parents.
Yes. I'm not sure, but that thought, yes, that understanding, yes, would be great to really understand.
Okay. How does she feel now?
She's excited. She wants to get out and start living.
She wants to get out and start her life, a new life, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And cut herself loose from these burdens, these heavy weights that's dragging her down.
Okay, if you can imagine this burden, how would it look like?
It's like chains with heavy, what do you call it, that they throw under the sea.
Aha, yeah.
It's
I forgot the word, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
many of those chains.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so
One place, keeping her at one place.
yes, that's what's keeping you stuck, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so can we imagine doing something to cut those chains?
Like a big.
Yes. Can you imagine doing this?
Yes.
Cutting it and throwing it away in the sea or whatever.
Yes.
And what happens now? Can you move? Can you fly? What can you do?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm still cutting.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, so she's ready. She's at the door, waiting to open the door.
Yes. Okay, does she feel lighter? Is there, yeah, no burden?
Not at the moment, no.
No. Okay, great. And can we bring certain light or color, something to make it even more positive for her?
Light, this constant light that's shining on her
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time. Okay.
Like on the stage.
Okay, can we make this picture even better? Is there something else we can add? We can ask someone to be there, or we can move all of this event somewhere else if you want to.
I like the idea of grandma and my father each on each side holding my hand.
Great, great. Okay, and where is this happening? It could be anywhere you want it to be. A place that would feel really comfortable, really nice.
It's there in the womb.
It's where?
In the womb.
Yeah, in the womb. Okay, okay, but in the outer circumstances, where is this happening? Yeah, it can be in. Sorry?
Right here, right next to me now. Yeah, grandma
Yeah.
and my father's here now.
Okay, okay. And if we can put this picture in a frame, you know, like a painting, what would be the color of the frame, or how would this look like?
Gold.
Gold. Great. Okay, gold. And is there something else we can add?
Gold with a lot of light and in nature, standing there smiling.
Okay, great. And how positive does this picture look like from 0 to 10?
Positive.
Yes, how positive? 10 is the maximum, the most positive. Is it 10? Is it 10? Okay. Okay, so can you please close your eyes now? And again, imagine this picture of you getting all the support you need from your father, from your grandmother, and other positive creatures, all there to support you. And it's light and it's positive, and there is a gold around it. And you know that you will be fine, that you are not alone. You are never, ever alone. They're always there for you. Okay, and imagine this picture like you're literally seeing it in front of yourself. And imagine this energy coming from the top of your head and going through each cell of your body, bringing this light, this gold energy, all of it, the support, and just imprinting this energy, making it available anytime you need it. It goes through the ears, everywhere that something needs to be healed, something needs to be supported. And it goes to the top of your fingers. And then all of this energy is gathered in your heart. And from there, just imagine like there is a light coming from your heart outside, connecting you to everything that's around you. So you're taking the energy from the top of your head through each cell of the body, then it concentrates in the heart, and then it's going out. You're spreading out this beautiful energy, and you're attracting even more after that. Okay, how does it feel?
Very nice.
Okay, great. So whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, how do you feel now?
I feel much more relaxed and calm, and yes, I feel good.
Okay. So do you recognize?
The sadness.
Sorry?
I don't have the sadness.
Oh, the sadness. Okay, that's great. That's great. So first of all, in your case, it's important to see that most of the things are actually coming from before. They are not your own, they are your mother's.
Yes,
So,
that's a big thing that you gave me today, is making me realize that that's her stuff.
yes. So you can just gently give it back to her. You don't have to keep living in the same way to reinforce all of that.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay. Remember that you are not alone. You always have the support of the people you have loved, even if you don't know them, even if you haven't seen them, they can still be present for you and support you. So you're never alone.
They help.
Yes.
I always ask my mother, my grandmother, and my father's help. I do, and it
Yeah.
works. So
Absolutely.
it's there. It does. It does work. And
Yes. And also, I would recommend you at least once a day. Probably the best time is before you go to sleep. Do the same, the last thing we did. So visualizing this beautiful picture with all the support, with the frame and so on. And it's coming from the top of your head through the whole body, then from the heart and outside. And if you do that consistently, at least 21 days, but I would recommend you even more. It's, it's very pleasant. It doesn't need to take a long time. It could be just 2 minutes, but you will re-imprint this idea, and all of that will become part of your beliefs and everything in your life. And this will change. When you don't feel the loneliness, the ears will feel better also. How does your ear feel now?
it's good. It's quite calm. I would say two.
2. Okay, okay, yeah. Sometimes it takes time. So, sometimes when people watch demonstrations, and sometimes the transformation can be like extreme, from 10 to 0. It happens really, but in most cases, it takes more time. And that's fine as long as you are feeling better, even if it's just a tiny bit better, it works. So 2 is great. Just keep doing that. Just keep remembering this every evening. You're not alone. It's not you. You can make some kind of ritual. For example, write down like a letter or something like, those are the emotions that you feel like are coming from your mother. Yes, and you can either you can, for example, bury them in the earth, in the ground, or throw them, or something like that, as a symbol, like you are giving back those things. You are letting them go. They are no longer.
I like that. I will definitely
Okay.
do that. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for participating. It was a real pleasure for me, and you would see the benefits even more in the future. Just always remember this positive picture, and things will keep improving for you. It's not just what's happening right now. It
Yeah,
will keep improving.
I have faith that it will. So thank you, and I really appreciate your time. It was
Thank
really
you.
lovely meeting you and doing this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rochelle. And please keep me posted, by the way. Send me emails. Let me know how are things going on with you. I would love to hear. Okay.
I do, and I will do, because I do follow you on your channel, and I also subscribe to that Telegram.
Oh, yes, yes. That's wonderful. Yeah, we are starting really soon. So that would be an amazing adventure as well. Great.
Yes.
So thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Take
Thank you.
care. Bye.
Bye.